Oftentimes in gaming, when something goes on too long, people will look at it through the lens of mechanic creep or scope creep. They had to keep adding something new every couple of years to keep it interesting, and the whole end result is kind of absurd if you're trying to get into it years later. The most famous example of this in card games specifically is most likely Yu-Gi-Oh! If you look at any clip of a Twitch streamer trying to get into it for nostalgic regions in the big 2020s, they're almost all going to complain about how they didn't get a turn, they sat there for 15 minutes doing nothing, and it's just nothing like they remember as a kid.
Deck sucks. It's so confusing. That deck requires a year of reading to understand what the hell's going on.
This is mainly attributed to the game having to keep pumping out new and interesting concepts to keep people buying new packs. So you have all these new ways to summon monsters that weren't there when they used to play, and it's really confusing and frankly intimidating to have to learn all of them since they all interact together in the game. But surely if you clicked on this, you've already heard this a million times over. This is amateur hour and not what we're here to talk about today. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is an example of how a game could become obtuse as it goes on for too long. Don't get me wrong though, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! This is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Safe space. But today, we're going to talk about how absurd a game can become. In a fun way. You may remember Duel Masters from airing on Cartoon Network's Toonami block in the early 2000s. Well, an important quick history lesson that will make the rest of the video make a lot more sense. Because Duel Masters was just that weird Yu-Gi-Oh! Ripoff from your childhood that got cancelled, right? What do you mean go on too long? What's this have to do with anything? How'd you get into my house? Don't worry about it, Alex. I just blew some guy named Alex's mind with that joke. Duel Masters is from Wizards of the Coast. If you're familiar with card games, that may ring a bell as they're also the company that runs Magic the Gathering, the godfather of all card games and still considered one of the biggest in the world today. The big three along with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! However, in the motherland of card games, Japan, Magic has never really had a big presence until recently. Due to Japan's high density cities and otaku culture, they're able to support a lot of card games at once. There's stuff running for years over there you've never heard of. With this in mind, after not being able to make a massive market penetration for a while, Wizards of the Coast actually created Duel Masters as a retooling of Magic the Gathering for Japan's sensibilities and aesthetics, reworking how even stuff core to the game like mana works in Duel Masters. That's right, Duel Masters is just supposed to be an anime reimagining of Magic the Gathering. And boy did it work! While Duel Masters is irrelevant over here in English-speaking territories, it's been going strong since its introduction in 2002 in Japan. Although the series existed as a manga only even longer since 1999. You can even see on the cover of the first volume a Magic the Gathering card back, showing how this was originally just a Magic adaptation. Constantly cited at the top or near the top of card game popularity lists and sales, thousands of cards, more than 15 unique anime series. Did you know the main character of Duel Masters has sons and they become later anime's main characters? Tons of video games, but to keep going this long, you have to start doing some wacky things to keep eyes on you. And wacky they did. Duel Masters in Japan actually has some amazingly innovative cards that are mind-boggling if you're only used to stuff from Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, or Magic. And that's the absurdity we're here to cover today. From the ordinary to cards that fold out, get ready for some fun stuff. Even just visually, a game's identity and aesthetics can change a lot over the years. These may be the Duel Master cards you're familiar with if you only know it as a show on Cartoon Network. And this is Bull Shock Dragon. In the first set of the game, both in Japan and in Western countries, he was a high rarity card you could pull known as a secret card, not a secret rare, denoted by his cool holographic effect. The card you would be opening booster packs in hope of. Well now, with modern card design sensibilities, a high rarity card you could expect to pull looks like this. Similar to the evolution Pokemon cards have gone through, the game has gotten an entirely new face paint modernizing its high rarity. Base cards still look nostalgically similar, but the high end has been really blinged out. Note, this is not another Bull Shock Dragon, just a recent high rarity card to emphasize the difference that I picked. Bull Shock Dragon does have some insane modern full arts contrasting the difference though, such as these. He also has this weird looking card. What's up with the split arts and 2 play costs on each end? Well, this is another neat little innovation Duel Masters has done in Japan. These are called Twin Packed cards. If you're familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh!, these are very similar to Pendulum cards, but added to the game in 2018, so it's as if they had the hindsight of Pendulum cards to introduce Twin Pack cards without the mistakes of Pendulums. Magic the Gathering has also done something similar like this with 2 monsters that flip around on the same card, but as you'll see, these are more similar to Pendulums. And literally, as I was editing this video, Digimon just revealed dual cards, which are literally the exact same thing as twin packed cards. A Digimon and an option card together on the same card. Pretty indistinguishable from each other in terms of card art. These are new additions to the nearing 6-year-old Digimon card game to give you an idea of how influential Duel Masters is over there. Instead of being considered half and half and having the field zones adjusted for their gimmick, Twin Pack cards are simply a monster and a spell card matched together into one card. They are wholly separate and are committed to the form you choose once you pay its respective halves play costs. If you choose to use the spell half, you use its effect and it's sent to the graveyard. However, later twin pack cards would have cool effects like Last Burst, where if the monster in play is destroyed, you can use its spell half effect for free. These cards are really strong in that since they are two types of cards in one, generic searchers for both types of cards will look for them when trying to grab these cards from your deck. A card that searches for a spell card can add these to your hand and vice versa despite being half monster. They're pretty cool without adding the extra complications of pendulum monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! But that has more to do with the scales those cards have in Yu-Gi-Oh! Rather than the fact they're half spells. But designing the twin pack cards in a way where they exist together seamlessly on the same card helps avoid intimidating looking card situations like Nirvana High Paladin in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes you just can't limit everything to one card though. In Japanese Duel Masters, they also have double-sided cards. Admittedly, while not a lot of card games do this, it is something we have seen before here in English-speaking regions thanks to Magic the Gathering. That game has plenty of dual-sided cards used to cool effect. As far as I'm aware, however, these are always a normal type of card layout flipped around into a different but still normal card layout. Duel Masters has played with this idea a little bit more. Until now, we've seen stuff that's been done in one way or another in games we already have here in English first. So it's time to up the ante. Sometimes, even a dual-sided card isn't enough. How about a totally tournament legal card that folds out 3 ways for its 3 different forms? This is Batorai, a drag card creature that has the 3D drag solution as it is known in Japanese Duel Masters. On screen now is nothing fancy, but this card has the ability to fold out to this badass monstrosity. These are a series of cards that fold out into different forms. It starts out as a normal vertical trading card, then can open up into its second form the length of 2 cards. These start out as equipped spell-like cards. When their evolution condition is met, which can vary from card to card, they are able to flip over into their different forms. In the game, they start in a Yu-Gi-Oh!-like extra deck zone known as the Hyperspatial Zone. What a cool name. They're made of different, slightly thicker, glossier material than regular trading cards to increase the durability since you will be folding these a lot. They're completely turning legal and were a good strategy at their introduction. These are absolutely gorgeous and look particularly stunning in person with the glossy finish on the art. It's a perfect scale I hadn't encountered in trading card games before discovering these. Not obnoxiously huge like the V-Union cards in Pokemon, but significantly bigger than your standard cards to make bringing these out hype and satisfying. I would love for more games to try tackling this gimmick. Heck, the folds being limited to 3 perfectly lines up with the average Pokemon evolution line. It's a great spectacle other games should try. But if you did want something obnoxiously huge, bigger than the Pokemon V-Union cards, well, Duel Masters has you covered in Japan. In Pokemon, V-Union cards were 4 separate Pokemon cards that linked together into one big singular card to make a huge piece of art. Well, this is to go even further beyond! 4 pieces isn't enough. Make them 5 pieces. One side isn't enough. Make each of the 5 pieces dual-sided. Meet Forbidden Star, World's Last Day. This thing is awe-inspiring. These 5 regularly sized cards all link together to make one gigantic tournament legal card. Yes, this seriously isn't just a collector's display piece. The way these work is that they do not go in your deck or hyperspatial zone. At the start of the game, this beast is put into the battle zone as a field, linked with the 4 other cards. You then put seals over the 4 cards. Seals are cards from the top of your deck that you put on top of them face down. While a card has a seal on it, both players ignore it. As you meet the condition printed on the card, you can flip over the 4 seals surrounding the center cards one by one and add the seals to your hand. Once you've unsealed all 4, you flip all pieces over to reveal Dormageddon X, Forbidden Armageddon. This thing is sick. The colors are bright and popping. The scale of this world-ending creature is beautifully conveyed in the size of these linked cards. An especially cool thing is, this goes from the cards linking together horizontally to more vertically, giving the figure of a humanoid creature like Darmageddon is supposed to be. It's taking Exodia to the next level. While it doesn't work exactly the same, Zeron is another example of this 5-card monstrosity in Duel Masters, requiring other cards to be linked and then flipped over to be summoned. This time, focusing on a creature with large arms and linking the cards together accordingly to emphasize that trait horizontally. These really are a treat to see. Every aspect of them flows together so perfectly to enjoy as either a collector or even a player. As for gameplay, both are pretty time consuming and resource intensive to get out, but reward the player with an overpowered monster for doing so, though they're not auto wins like Exodia. In fact, Dormageddon has a condition where once summoned, if he moves to any other zone, the controlling player automatically loses the game. punishing you for letting this beast get destroyed. These cards are all amazing, and it's cool to see what Duel Masters has been up to in the 20 plus years it's been going strong in Japan. It's a damn shame we will never get to see this stuff in English speaking countries, as this game has failed twice over here now. Once as Duel Masters proper, and another time as Kaijudo in a failed reboot. I'm not really sure why we can't stick the landing here, as I'm only a casual fan of the franchise. Maybe the incorrect Yu-Gi-Oh ripoff assumptions put a hard cap on how far it could go the first time around in the West. But at least I'm glad, thanks to the power of modern technology, we can still easily see all these sick innovations they're doing over there. Hopefully you guys thought this was as interesting as I did. I haven't uploaded in a while, so if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and comment so the algorithm doesn't eat this alive. I don't normally ask for that, but I hope this vid does well so more people enjoy this cardboard absurdity. Let me know what other kind of stuff you want to see covered on the channel. I'm kind of out of ideas lately as I've been busy with life and haven't been really playing many card games, so if there's something interesting you think I should make a video out of, let me know and I might just turn it into one. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be, and until then, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.